Welcome back, Lisa Suarez. How's it going?
So far, so good.
Now, you and I have been threatening to get back together again there's so much, there's tea just being spilled everywhere.
On every side. But it just, like we were talking about, it moves so quickly that it's hard to capture it in the moment.
Yeah, the tea is fluid.
Right.
The tea is fluid.
Yeah.
So that's why we have you coming with an agenda,
right,
with the Reddit deets. And like, I feel like we are in the know.
We're in the know. We have the sheets. We're front and back. I scoped over Reddit before I got here just to make sure. Because sure enough, as I was making this, I'm like, oh, there was something 20 hours ago that I missed. Like, it's so...
Right.
I don't know how people do it.
I know.
But I'm here to absorb it and read it and present it.
Listen, I'm here for it. I bet you we're at least 85% correct in all of this too.
So this might change by the time you're listening.
Now, not to like jump right into Vanderpump Rules, but I do want to say, is Vanderpump Rules, is the first reunion tomorrow?
Yeah.
And where James says, you're a poo-poo head and you're a poo-poo head.
This is on my list that I have to publicly say that I am a James stan. He can do no wrong. My husband and I joke, I'm like, I'm not into James like that. I want to like be his mother. I want to like wear him in like a baby Bjorn and like carry him around.
Yeah.
And protect him. I think he's so funny. Even when he's being like bitchy, he's hilarious. And he's so spot on that I'm like, and his little blue eyes and he gets all watery and he's so cute that I can't
agree.
stand it.
No, he totally won me over.
Yeah.
He and Lala.
Yeah.
They totally, she won me over with Call Daryl.
Yeah.
For sure. Like this like drama has been so
Lala
good for their
post
careers.
Randall is the best.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
All right. So not to hijack your agenda. Okay. Let's go.
All right. So where do you want to start?
Let's start
Kim
wherever
Kroy,
wherever your heart desires. Just go like top down. Let's go top down.
All right. Since we're already talking about Scandival, we'll start there.
Okay.
So this week, there have been rumors that Raquel, who I know Ariana is calling Rachel, which I think is hilarious. And then it throws me off. So today she'll be Raquel.
Okay.
So Raquel, apparently, one of the things that people are talking about is that she's pregnant, which I feel like that could lighten the blow of all the public stuff. I mean, not great. Let's not create lives to like, for that reason. But apparently she's not. According to Dumois or whatever. I don't think so.
I feel like it's just I feel like that was a logical rumor.
Yeah, it would make sense, and it would change things.
It would give people empathy.
Yeah, because then you're like, well, they're family now. Leave her alone. Well, they shouldn't leave her alone. I feel like at this point, just let it go. But here we are here to not let it go. I guess.
You know what? They should let it go, but we're gonna let it go after this. After this episode.
After this episode, then we're gonna totally let it go and never talk about it again. But to be fair, like we were talking about in the kitchen when I came in. This is celebrity. These are reality TV shows. They signed up for this. And Tom loves this. Let's not act like he doesn't love every minute of this right now.
Can we take a minute for the Tom?
Yeah. Yikes.
The band.
You know what? This is what I thought. When I first heard about the band, I was like, oh, what are we doing? What's happening? I think it's actually a pretty good idea because it caters to like a certain audience and it's just like a fun night out. But it wasn't cringe until Tom decided to be so cringe that now everything he touches is, because I kind of feel bad for the band.
Yeah. Like, so here's how I feel about the band. So I was on the fence. Yeah. I went on YouTube and started perving and just watching him sing. Cause I'm like, because you're like Toto, Rosanna, like Rosanna, like I love these songs, right? Yeah. I'm like, okay, I want to see how you are. I wanted to see that he could at least halfway sing the songs and be like, have stage presence. Well, I decided, like what you said, I'm like, this is a good idea because it's kind of cheesy, but it works and everybody loves a cover band and it's like flashy, cheesy jackets and stuff. So I was on board with it. Yeah. Until, like you said, I started watching those clips after this and I'm like, how do you even go on stage right now, bro?
Right. But that's what I mean. Like right after this broke, it's just like, and this is what has, out of all the things that people say, clients, talking about it, everyone at the salon, friends, Reddit, whatever. I just cannot get past how Tom just loves it. Like, I don't think it's like, he's like any attention is good attention.
Well, he's a complete narcissist
especially
on steroids.
After the last episode where I'm like, everyone's going to see this and you're just totally fine with being like, not verbatim, but he basically said, I was going, or something along the lines of, well, I was going to break up with Ariana, but I just had a feeling like she didn't want to know. Or that what was it about? She should have been following him when he told her that she was going to Tom's to make sure. I was like,
she wasn't.
So now it's her job.
Yeah.
She
wasn't crazy. She was trusting you.
Yeah.
And didn't second guess your motives, you fucker.
So like, what an idiot that she didn't find this out on her own.
You know, when I literally was like, okay, Tom, like R.I.P.
Yeah.
When they showed the clip of when she was making that cocktail book.
Yeah.
And he was like, Ariana, everybody agrees that I should be the one making the cocktail book. Yeah. He started naming all the reasons why he should be the one to do the book and not her. I mean,
wasn't she already a bartender?
Yes.
I feel like before, and then he got into it.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember that correctly because I've watched it for so many years. I'm like, because I remember when Ariana first came on the scene, which that's a whole other thing that I guess people have talked about a little bit. But, and listen, Kristen, that's a whole other podcast and day. But I hated that they made Kristen seem crazy or whatever, or like, she's just being a jealous. And I was like, that was true. Mm-hmm. He was hanging out with Ariana and all that. Yeah. You know? So he's kind of been like the evil little sorcerer in the background.
This is his whole time. Yeah, it's his cycle.
But it's when you see compilations and put it all together. And then even when he's like, I don't know, under all the lights and fire, he's still like, he really doesn't care. No. I don't feel like that he like hurts people. I think it's just what's good for Tom is good for Tom.
Yeah, totally. And then poor Schwartz.
Is it poor Schwartz?
He's not the sharpest knife. I mean, he's not. He's very nice, and yes, he will stick up for his boy. Yeah, I find him to be like he has trouble bringing a thought process from A to Z.
Yeah, I think that in his brain, it's easiest just to be like, Tom's my best friend. Let's just be loyal to Sandoval or whatever. But I feel like the last episode that we just watched was so telling of like, oh, Tom does have thoughts in there that rattle around. Like you could tell he like really had anxiety. He was really freaking out. He was really like, wait, oh yeah, I own a business with this person that's like ruining everyone's lives, including my own. Like he had to see himself not as Tom and as just like, how is Schwartzy going to move on from this? And then it's the whole isolation of the friend group too, because Ariana's not playing around with that. She's like, any association with Sandoval means you're not associated with me. So that's what everyone was talking about too on Reddit and everything is how are they going to film now? Because it's like, you're just going to have Schwartzy just kind of floating next to Tom. And then, because Ariana, that was like a hard no. She won't film at all with Sandoval.
Then she's probably done.
Yeah. I don't think she'll be done. I think
they're going to have to, they're going to have to break it out and come to some terms.
Like 2 stories and then maybe a dinner at the end.
Yeah. Where you don't have to necessarily coincide with him, but maybe just break it into like different sagas.
I feel like with Housewives, they do that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. I think we're going to hear more from Schwartz. I feel like he needs a really good PR person to figure out the direction he needs to take because his business, his livelihood, everything's on the line. So it's weird. It's like, okay, Schwartz, now you have to do something.
Get your cock out, dude. And not literally just slap your cock on the table and take a stand. Okay. By cock, I mean like, just show some chops or just some ball, like some backbone. Boy.
Yeah. I know, and like handle business. I mean, I've been cracking up with Katie too, just being like, oh, what was that one scene where she came to drop off the dog? And he was all like, yeah, everything's wild right now. Like, oh, my life's falling apart. And she goes, oh, that's unfortunate.
I'll see you later.
Yeah, you've literally been stressing this girl out for 12 years. Okay, she's over it. She wants the dogs and she wants to leave.
Yeah, and speaking of having the baby Bjorn, that's why I feel like Sandoval has Schwartz in like a backpack.
But he needs out.
He needs out.
He needs to graduate to the toddler.
He's a tween now. He's a tween.
Get him one of those little backpacks with like the little rope or whatever. I don't know.
It's in you, buddy. You can do it.
Yeah. So we have Ariana moved out yesterday. Love to see it. So that was cute little paparazzi pics. Did you hear about Tom Sandoval being with the girl Carly in Texas?
Yes.
Because that's the newest thing. But now he's denying they're together. So I don't know if that's just like a hookup or like someone he knew before. But apparently Carly was like watching all of Ariana's stuff, all of Raquel's stuff. So I don't know if this is like a fan or a friend.
She's probably a fangirl.
A fan and that's the thing. That's what I think that they really highlighted really well in the last episode is Tom's not looking for like a partner, someone that's his equal. He loves that Raquel was his fan and like gassed him up. That's not reality.
No. He wants to be able to be the dominant, the guy, the everything. I mean,
that dude,
Raquel. I mean, she would be, she's just kind of like doe-eyed.
But she, in a weird way, when I heard about all this, of course we're all like, wait, what? And you're thinking back, But I was like, that's actually a way better fit in like an alternative universe. If none of this bad stuff happened, I'm like, personality wise, that actually seems like that's the type of person you should go for, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I think maybe Raquel was looking for that in James, but James was not to be tamed. Not my son. My son
your
was
son
not ready.
was not to be tamed. Now, I would not want to date James. I will say that would be a disaster. No. His poor girlfriend. Now, that to me is not. That does not have long term written on it.
I don't know.
You don't think? You think?
I think he is a love bomber. I think he loves
is
love.
A love bomber.
But I think
James drinking
more.
again. But
I don't
James
love
drinking again is
I
not.
hated that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. Wherever his heart goes, I will support.
Me too. Well, you are his mother. You can't really see. You can't really see clearly here.
I can't. It's a mother's love, really. But no, I really hope that James never does anything like super, super awful. Because now here we are.
You don't want to have to bail him out of jail.
I don't want to have to do that. My son is better than that. Let's see. We have the girl in Texas. I put living for James. We already talked about that. That he had plans to break up with her. Not a good time. You know what? I loved Sheena in the last episode too.
She's grown on me.
She's grown on me because I loved what she said about you could have gotten out of this and away from this. Like how she said, like, it's okay that she's going to fall to pieces. Just have the backup for us to pick her up. Mm-hmm. I was like, that's so wise of Sheena. And I also totally forgot that her and Sandoval have been friends for years and years and years and years.
Yeah.
I totally forgot that. And then she was probably the one that introduced Ariana to like the whole, which that's a whole other subject that people seem to forget that this is Sheena's show.
Yeah.
And they've been trying to make it not Sheena's show this entire time.
Yeah. It's
and
true.
I'm like, none of this would have existed if she wasn't with, who was it, Eddie?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No.
Was it Eddie?
What was his name? He's with Leon Rhymes now.
The one, oh yeah,
Brandy's
yeah,
husband.
yes.
That's how it started.
Yeah, because then they just showed the that clip of her talking to Brandy at the thing. Yeah.
So I was like, this was Sheena's show. And I remember, because I still do, but I would always watch
Eddie Sivian.
Yeah.
Was that Sivian?
Which wild, they're still together and like everything worked out.
Well,
but yeah.
I don't know. Leanne seems a little unhinged to me.
Yes, but
we'll put that on the list for next time.
That's on the other list. But yeah, I remember how they used to just play Vanderpump after Beverly Hills, so you don't realize you're watching it, and then you're like, oh, we went from like tea at I don't know, the Vanderpump house compound to then you're like, oh wait, we're in the back of this restaurant.
Yeah,
you know. So I don't know. I thought it was clever, but yeah, I feel like Sheena deserves more credit. This is Sheena's show. Not Lala's show or any other people's show.
And it was sad because they have been friends, and her, her being so upset and hurt and kind of crying, and then him being emotional. Oh yeah. The friendship there. I felt that.
Well, because now people are saying, oh, now Sheena's just acting like this because she's embarrassed of all the support. I was like, no, I think that she thought she knew her friend of that long. And it was, everyone's kind of friends, like her and Brock and then Aria. Like everyone's so, because that's what I put on here too, is why did it get so big? I feel like there's been so much time we've watched these people grow up and everyone is so intertwined that you're like, wow, you couldn't have gone outside of the group if you were going to do this, which I am very curious about. Remember, he did admit that there was one other before Raquel.
Yes.
Which rumors are that it's Billy. Yeah. That's like the latest rumor. But I think Billy and Sandoval are just good friends.
Nothing would surprise me with him.
Yeah. Nothing would surprise me. Because I forget what season Billy kind of went off the show. But Billy is like still kind of in the group, so it's all inappropriate. But stay out of your group.
No, just find somebody else. You've got groupies
you're in LA.
Yes.
You have however many Instagram people following you. Like it's not going to be hard for you, Tom.
Yeah,
clearly it wasn't. And then I have, let's see. Apparently they're doing a Hulu special. I didn't realize this until I think it was this week. I was listening to an interview with Ariana about Tom filmed Winter House in March. Yeah. I didn't watch Winter House.
I saw it.
Or Summer House or any of the houses.
It was okay.
It's all right.
Yeah. There wasn't really, I mean, they were kind of like the fun, they came in and I just watched it because they were on it.
Yeah. But that makes sense of why she was saying he didn't want to come forward because he still wanted to be like the fun time on the show. I know, and doing whatever he was doing there.
He's 40, by the way.
Okay, that was one thing that my husband and I were talking about is I just kind of forgot because we've been watching it all these years of like how old everyone is. I always thought that they were like substantially younger than me just because I guess their actions. And then I was like, oh,
he's
what are
40.
You doing, Tom?
He's in an alternate universe.
Yeah, I think he needs to get out of LA for a little bit.
He needs to move to like Oklahoma and go on a ranch somewhere for a while by himself.
Full of Jeffree Stars. just raise some yaks and keep it moving, you know? I don't know what everyone's doing out there. And then we have, intertwined relationships. Why did this take it by storm? That's my little recap of Scandival. I'm excited for tomorrow.
I love it. I know. I cannot wait.
I want to see the outfits. I need to see everything.
I love it.
And how it's going to all break down. Yeah. And then apparently the whole pregnancy rumor was about like, that's going to be the biggest thing on the reunion. But apparently it's just that Raquel does a one-on-one sit down with Andy.
Oh, okay.
And she basically, how do they put it? Throws grease on the fire. So I don't know. But at this point, let's tell us everything. Yeah. This is our relationship now. The entire world is involved.
You owe it to us. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Let's see. Want to go to Kim and Kroy?
Oh my God. Yes. Who didn't see that? I
don't know if I believe in true love anymore.
Who didn't see that coming though? I mean,
I don't know.
You know, you wanted to believe it though too, and they had all those cute
love story.
It really was. But I was always just in my head. I'm like, how do you sustain, like knowing what life is really like when you're just kind of normal?
Yeah, mom and dad,
and then just layering on all this pomp and circumstance and like the spending of the money and the life. And I just wondered. I'm like, there's got to be something wacky happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, because I don't really know too much about like. I mean, because he was an athlete, right? And you know, all these contracts where they get like millions and millions up front. I'm like, how long does that money
But Kroy wasn't like, we're not talking like, you know, he's not getting top of the line NFL money.
Yeah, and he hasn't played.
Yeah, no, Kroy, I mean, again, he was making more money than your average Joe on the street. Yeah. But Kroy was by no means making what you see these other NFL players making.
Yeah.
That's like... So I believe that Kim and like her, you know, whatever skincare and wigs and all everything else had to be like carrying the team.
Yeah. And the housewives' money for a little bit, tardy to the party, a little bit. Yeah. So I don't think it was, because that's what's so funny is I remember all those interviews with Andy over time on Bravo and all that stuff, is that was the one thing everybody brought up is we've just never seen spending like that.
Yeah.
Kim was kind of, I don't know. Looking back, she was kind of the launch of that. If you go early Housewives,
her and
we're
Nene.
not talking Bravo, like we're not talking like Beverly Hills current day or anything like that. But yeah, if you go way back,
remember her and Nene? It was the best.
The best line is buy wig,
buy wig. But then wait, she was calling Nene a heifer, and then Nene was calling her something. They were like I mean, those two were.
I still believe they'll come back.
I need it. I would love those two to come back together. Let's make we should make a petition for Nene and Kim.
Take her in. She's not doing anything.
No, but bring it back.
She's gonna have time for girls' nights now.
Andy Cohen, we definitely need a Nene and Kim.
But didn't Nene, if I remember correctly, in recent years get real sassy with Andy? She's like not a part of the Bravo world. I mean, I forget what happened.
I bet you couldn't pick many people that Nene didn't get sassy with at some point.
That's why we love her. That's why we need her.
Oh my God. Her one-liners.
I know.
So good.
She's just the OG now sitting back, but it hasn't been the same without her.
No.
I'm watching Atlanta right now and I'm like,
no.
Vicky Gunvalson or whatever. Remember when on the OC, when she would just like act like she's sleeping and all?
That was actually
so rude. It's so funny.
It's so good.
People could be like, the most horrible thing happened to her all the time. I'm like, awful.
But I've used it a couple times. I'm like,
and you're like, that's a Vicky thing. Totally not me being rude. One thing that I wrote down, because I've already started seeing a little bit of it, and I was just telling my friend Erica a couple weeks ago, I said, just wait until people start talking about the relationship with Brielle and Kroy. And I was like, that's going to be annoying, because that's like her dad.
Gross.
But they've already started talking about that. Like, I know. I think that's
people.
I'm like, because she's a Bierman. She's, you know, I think he adopted her and stuff. No. But I was like, no. Kroy, I think Kroy's a good dad. I just think they had marriage problems.
Yes. And his family hates her.
That wedding was stressful.
Hates her.
But maybe I don't know if they saw it coming or she just wasn't the type that he would normally date.
Right.
She also had 2 older kids.
They were not loving that by any means.
So I wonder if he'll loop back with the family.
I think so.
You think so?
Because I think Kroy deep down was a country boy.
Yeah.
And he definitely changed a lot with Kim.
Yeah.
And with any marriage where the family isn't in support, that just adds an extra layer of tension, especially because he was, I think, close to his family pre-Kim. Yeah. So yeah, I'm sure that changes the dynamics for the better for him and his family.
Well, then I was thinking that maybe they'd swing back around, because then it did last, right? And they had 4 kids and like, I want to say that he did adopt the 2 girls. You know what I mean? So they were like doing the whole thing. It wasn't just like, I'm hooking up with this housewife and running away from the NFL.
No, they had a good run.
Yeah. So I wonder what really, but then her family, I remember was pretty bad too. But I think her stuff was going on way before, like with money.
Yep.
That can get kind of sticky. But yeah,
money's funny.
As of today, apparently the whole divorce is over. He said that Kim has financially devastated them by gambling. But then sources say that that's just an excuse. Sources, as if I know who the sources say. Who? Reddit? Say that she was winning.
Our Magic 8 Ball says it.
Yeah. Our source.
Yeah, you're not always winning though. It's not a linear.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, come on.
I'm not a gambler. I'm not into that.
No, me neither. That surprises me that Kim. I don't know. In my mind, I always feel like men gamble. I've never heard. I mean, I'm sure there's many women out there.
I wonder what type of gambling. Like, are we talking like she's on one of those little games and keeps buying coins, or is she like at the casino? I mean, I did win $39 at the Derby a couple weekends ago, so you know.
There you go.
But that was about as far as I was going to get. But I could see where people could get carried away with that. That's like a real thing that people devastate, as he says. Right. You know. Oh, this one kind of cracked me up. He said, Kim smokes weed. And she needs to be drug tested. I was like, okay. What's the news?
Let's take a drug test for all of the Americans here and see how many, what percentage of Americans.
I'm like, drug test your entire neighborhood. I was like, stop. So maybe, I don't know. It seems like it's getting a little, just tit for tat. But then I wonder, what happens to the house? What happens to all this? Because they both want the same things. I don't know if I thought it would get ugly. I just thought maybe if they ever broke up, it wouldn't be like that.
Unfortunately, I feel like more often than not, it gets ugly.
Yeah. But they seem like best friends. Maybe it seems like more that relationship where they would stay good friends and parents and then just kind of fall out of love and then just do their own thing.
Yeah.
And divorce. But not like that. I just didn't see it coming.
Yeah. I'm just telling you.
And whose side is who is the chef? Tracy Bloom or whatever. I loved her too.
She was so good.
But I'm like, what does Tracy think about this? That's what we need.
Yeah, we need like the G2 from her. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. Like, she's going to take Kim's side.
She will.
Kim will strong arm her.
And she loves those kids. She's like, wherever they're going, that's where I'm going.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I mean, I guess we'll find out what happens with Kim and Kroy.
Yeah.
What else has been going on this week? Oh, I have the whole, which I don't know too much about this, and I'm low-key scared because the Swifties are an army. But the whole thing with Taylor Swift and the Maddie from 1975. Yeah. Which I didn't know. Are they in
love?
She says, and I quote, not sources. I quote, never been this happy. Apparently, she said that at a concert a couple nights ago.
Well, good for her. Hopefully, it won't end in flames and she'll be writing a song about him in 2025.
I know. Okay, so that's what I said. But then I watched an interview with her and I was like, true. She was talking about how everybody says that, right? About like, you write. And she was like, well, no one says that to Ed Sheeran and no one says that to da-da-da. And she started listing all these names. And I'm like, I guess if you're a songwriter, what do you write about? What's going on in your life?
I think it's amazing. I love it.
But I think it's that her following and her like, what would you call that? Yeah, her little army behind her is so strong that it makes it scary if she does that. Which, whose fault is that?
She can start like a civil war if she wanted to.
Exactly. Her power. But that's what I mean. I was like, the Swifties, who we love and embrace and would never go against, are not happy about Maddie. So anyway, I didn't realize that he was so controversial. I haven't thought about him in years, ever since that like chocolate song that was a bop.
No, I don't even really know who he is, honestly.
Maddie Healy.
Why don't they like him?
Okay, so I guess he's kind of the bad boy. Oh. Like he'll like make out with fans at shows on stage, which I think is a little ick. But then there was
total ick.
Then there was one, which I'm like, can we even say it that was on here?
What?
This is at the bottom of the sheet.
Let me see.
That's like what he's into and apparently talks about it openly.
Oh, torture porn.
I know. I was like, yikes.
Let's see here. What degree of torture? Are we talking like tie him up? I mean, are we like, there's a lot of shades there's a lot of shades of gray there. Yeah. There's a lot of shades of gray there.
But apparently he's talked a lot about it in interviews and I don't know, I guess. But you also have to think about his audience versus Taylor are two very different types of people. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, we need some more.
Because think about this, 50 Shades of Grey. That could be completely considered torture porn. So if you have a little room where you're taking somebody in there and you're like, bad girl, that could be torture porn. That could be completely benign, right? But then, you could swing to the other side. That could be a little ugly. So you gotta be you gotta be careful with that. Make sure you're being specific about the type of torture.
Write this down.
Like how bad does this hurt on a scale of 1 to 10? Is it a 2?
Yeah. So I don't know. Cause like I said, I don't know much about him, but I think just like with any new celeb relationship, or just like what we talked about, the scandals, the Kim and Kroy's, it's like people just dig until they find what they want. So, but that's all to say that I don't know this man. Okay. I have no idea who this man is. He could be awful. We don't know. But you know what? Happy she's happy. She likes it. I love it.
We love it for you, Taylor.
And then let's see, Kim and Kroy, Maddie. Oh, then I put we had to like catch up with the Kardashians a little bit because they've been a little MIA. The only thing I'm looking forward to this new season, because I think it's going to be the exact same thing that we've been seeing, which is nothing. We see more on Instagram than we do on that show. I don't know why it still exists, but whatever. The friction with Kim and Kourtney. But I'm like, are we going to actually talk about it? Or are we going to just dance around it like they have been?
But is it friction that's any different than what has already been eroding over time? Or?
I think maybe the real friction could possibly be that Kim was with Travis years and years ago. But maybe that could be talked about instead of like her designer or whatever. I'm like, what's the real deal?
But the thing is, when you make a choice to date that person,
right,
you have that information.
Correct. So you can't be mad later.
You know, I think she's more mad that Kim said she's not interesting to look at. I mean, those types of things, like
she proved her wrong, Kourtney.
You know what I mean? Like, but it's like, what world are we living in where you're like, you're the least interesting to look at?
Maybe Kim should get with Sandoval.
Ooh, actually, wouldn't that be amazing?
That would just be a fire pit.
You know, you're so profound. I mean, you just brought it all together.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Kourtney's a better fit for Travis. They're in love. I love to see it.
I love Blink-182. Did you see that? So that their reunion, at Coachella, I couldn't stop with the TikToks.
Yeah,
they are just, I love Blink-182.
And you get every angle,
it's
you get
so
the whole
good
behind the scenes,
and I love their banter when they're up there just being idiots, and they're just so talented, and just the song "Miss You." Where are you?
I just love it all. I'm so glad they're still doing their thing, and now there's this whole new generation that's into that. Like I say, my daughter's in her emo era right now.
Yeah,
and I'm living for it. Because I'm like, but that was me when I was your age. It just like makes me so emotional. So I love it. And I'm glad that it's back. And it's just, I feel like it's great for her.
Oh,
like,
I love the Travis Barker, his element and everything he's got going on. I'm totally into it.
But yeah, all that to say though, that I'm like, if we're going to have this show, let's show something.
Yeah.
Let's actually talk about
Did they get pregnant?
I think they've tried, but maybe that'll be on the thing. Because it's been like an IVF journey. So I don't think now, or I feel like she'd say something. And then I have the whole thing about, I'm not going to try to say his last name because I always mess it up. So I put Timmy and Kylie. Timothy Chalamet?
I don't know.
I don't know. I say it wrong every time. But apparently they are, sources say.
An item.
Very together, but just very low key. Like normal stuff, like going to the movies, getting dinner.
Like what other humans do.
Just humans, not red carpets, concerts. Hard launching. So I don't know anything about him. But again, cool.
Yeah.
He's not Travis. So I'm stoked on
it. Right.
And then I didn't know too much about Kevin Booker and Kendall's relationship before, but apparently everyone's posting all these TikToks that have like those Stan accounts, you know, where it's like all edits of Kendall and stuff. That Kevin, which I feel like he is an athlete, he has things to do. Watches like every scene. So people are screenshotting like Kevin Booker watched all my stories, like anything that has to do with Kendall, he's watching. Obsessed. But I like the Bad Bunny thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, I like her with Bad Bunny. I think we'll see how that plays out. And then something that has been apparently debunked, which I was talking to you earlier, I think that they were testing us a little bit, was the whole thing with Kim and Tom Brady. I don't think it would be a bad matchup. I mean, like, you get so famous, who can you possibly be paired with? You kind of tap out of your network, right? You're like, who's left?
I don't see Tom Brady going for that.
I don't either. But the whole thing started over her driving his golf cart, which I'm like,
she would like to drive his golf cart.
I bet. But apparently she was looking for homes in his neighborhood. So I said, okay, does that make sense if you know who he is and you guys are friendly? You all know each other. Yeah. That you would use his golf cart to go house to house instead of walking. Yeah.
Yeah. Tom Brady is.
But then of course it's like they're together.
No. They were saying he was with Reese Witherspoon.
They were saying he was with Jeffree Star and everybody else. And
I mean, listen.
I think he's just single.
He's got a lineup of girls who want to ride that donkey.
Right. And he's retired now. He has all the time support from his ex-wife.
Yep.
So I don't think he needs to go to get hypnotized by Kris Jenner.
Oh my God, could you imagine?
Speaking of Kris Jenner, we have her on the list. Being at all of Trash Can Thompson's games. How he got on the Lakers is beyond me.
Trash Can Thompson.
That man. I said I'm scared to talk about him because someone will pop up pregnant because we're discussing this man.
No, he's the procreator.
I know.
He's definitely the procreator.
Apparently he weaseled his way on the Lakers team. I don't know how much Kris Jenner had to pay for that. And Kim and Kris, Kim was on at like all of his games, and then people are like, weird. Who's she dating? Or like,
saw
what?
That.
And then now, as of last week, it's moved on to Kris and Kroy are at all his games. I think they're just switching it out.
They're doing something. They're working their little evil plan. Yeah. So one thing you probably don't have on your list, but I do think about this a lot because I keep hearing, I hear Kanye like on the radio, just his old songs and stuff. And I'm like, okay, so is Kanye gone forever? Like, is he just going to hide in a hole? I haven't heard one thing.
Apparently he's working on a new campaign, but I know that, I think Adidas I don't know the number. I wish I would have had that. It was something like, I'm talking like billions of dollars worth of Yeezy stuff that they just like ended up donating or something. And just,
they had extra. And I don't know if like either donated or sold it for really cheap. But I was like, God, isn't this wild? Like this world that we live in now where it's like people get canceled. Is he ever to get uncanceled on any level? Like, or is it like Kanye, we can't ever talk about, because people are still, so ever since that happened to SOS, like at first we instructed people like, turn it off immediately. Like people are uncomfortable. We don't want it. Yeah. Well, then the other day it came on and I think Kimmy forgot and I didn't even think about it. And then she turned it off, which made me think, I'm like, damn, I'm like, we're still turning off Kanye. Like, so this is a forever thing where we can't listen. So I'm not kidding you. I was walking the other day and Mercy came on and I was like, okay. Yeah. And I fucking love that song. Yeah. And I was by myself. I had my AirPod and I was like looking around. I'm like,
can anyone see my
is this okay for me to secretly jam to this?
I feel like I just haven't heard much of what he's doing. Maybe people would be a little bit like one side or the other if he was actively doing something, because that's
he's been kind of hiding
here, right? But he's like married and just chilling, which I don't know about that.
Wait, he's married?
Yeah, he married. I don't have her name. I don't know.
Kanye married someone? Yeah. How did I miss that? Yeah.
And now he has her, he's like doing the whole Kim thing where he's like dressing her all up and stuff. Perfect. And they're out in public.
I've got to go to the Google machine.
He's been wearing a lot of like Muay Thai padded stuff. I don't know. I think he's trying to like bring back Yeezy type of vibe. But yeah, apparently got married and it's like legit and we don't know who she is or how she came to be, but she looks like a young model, like very much his type, like really bleach blonde hair, black brows, like very like cool, young, hip.
I love it.
But yeah, North has been out with her and stuff, so.
All right. Any closing thoughts before we sip our last bit of tea?
Let's skim the list here. No, I think that
was a good sum up.
The only thing that I had on here, which was a couple must watches.
Okay.
Because everyone knows that I love reality TV, but I feel like there are some forgotten ones. Okay. So I'll give these quickly since we're wrapping up. So you guys do your thing and look them up and see what you'd like. So I don't have to go into the descriptions. So we have Shahs of Sunset. It's canceled. It's amazing. Basically, Persian American Friends in LA. 60 Days in, A&E. Adults Adopting Adults got canceled on its third episode. It's very hard to find the first 3 episodes, but if you can, hold on tight. You, Me, and My Ex is on Discovery Plus right now. That's really good. Seeking Sister Wives. Welcome to Plathville is a ride. If you're into like fundamentalist stuff, LDS stuff, like kind of that like Duggar vibe, which that's a whole other thing. You'd like Plathville. Love in Paradise, Love Off the Grid, which is my favorite, and Love During and or After Lockup.
I love this.
Check all those out. Not sponsored.
You know what, Lisa? You never disappoint. You're just like a fireball that comes in here with all this. You're like a geyser of knowledge. And if you guys are, we're kind of testing the waters here with the tea. But if you're liking it, if you like what you hear and what you see, send us, a DM to me, Lisa. Let us know what you want to hear, what you like. We've been trying to. We've been threatening to get back together again, so we can just keep doing this if you guys like it.
But Sandoval kept acting up, and then
that's right.
Messing with our schedule.
Yeah, exactly. We were like, oh God, the tea's dry.
And then it would be pouring and we're like, crap, when do we get together?
All right, guys, let us know. And until next time, watch your reality TV, freaking get on Reddit and keep moving.
Yes.